Welcome back. Well, I hope you all had a terrific Christmas. As you can see, I am back in the fuzzy sweater because it's snowing here once again. I don't think this time it's going to amount to much. And quite frankly, it was only 40 degrees last night. And don't worry, I turned on a fan for the cat, well, and for me, so he wasn't miserable. Audie, fortunately, likes the same sleeping conditions I like, which means 20 degrees. The windows are open in our house in February. So he was just right up there in front of the fan saying, yeah, let that cool breeze come in on me. 40 degrees, how's a cat supposed to sleep in all this heat? So he didn't like the coming of the snow, though, so he's hiding out. We are going back to Bedford for another portion of the video that I started Christmas Day. End of the year is a great time to shop at antique malls. And the reason for this is that the sellers usually close out their fiscal year, prepare their taxes and so on based on a year-end date that coincides with the calendar year. Now, when you establish a business, you can set your fiscal year anytime you want to. It can go from, say, March 15th to March 15th if you want. The reason people do that, just digression here, is sometimes, let's say, for example, you sell skiing equipment. You might have all of your business spread out from maybe October through February, April, whatever of the year. And you might want to keep track of your season sales. So you might like that March to March fiscal year date. It makes sense for some businesses. Anyway, most small business proprietors don't do it that way. They will want to get rid of their 2020 inventory and get their 2021 inventory ready. So usually the end of the year, you can get some great deals. And in fact, I did. So we're going to take a look at them when we come back. First things first, happy Boxing Day. That's what today is, the day after Christmas. We don't celebrate this in the U.S. Most of us don't even know what it is. And Boxing Day is December 26th, the day after Christmas. And there are a lot of explanations for how it got to be called Boxing Day. I'm going to give you my favorite. This is probably the oldest, but who knows if it's true, could be a legend. In medieval Europe, it's said that they opened the poor box and dispensed alms to the poor the day after Christmas, and hence Boxing Day and so on. Nothing whatsoever to do with Mike Tyson or Muhammad Ali. So, also, by the way, in England, they get the day off. So they have a 2-day Christmas holiday. So good for them. Maybe I'm in the wrong country. I would like a 2-day holiday. Anyway, so that's the whole story of Boxing Day. Now, getting back to Bedford, when I first went in, I went to a booth. It's a fairly large booth. It's right next to the register, and, as you're walking through, can't miss it. And I very often get some really interesting deals there. It's always worth a look-see as far as I'm concerned. And when I was last there, I went in and saw a Geisha ware chocolate pot. So let's take a look at that. That piece is a nice Geisha ware chocolate pot. Rather typical of Geisha ware, $25. That is not coming home with me
because, as I'm sure you will recall, I got a remarkably fine Geisha ware chocolate pot for half the price last week.
Well, not very impressive considering the Geisha ware pot I got last week. Let's take a look at that one. Yeah, half the price and easily twice the quality. If you want to collect geisha ware, be careful and and trust your judgment. In other words, if it looks good, if it looks delicate, well executed, that's going to tell you that it's going to be a better quality piece. It's going to be worth more in the end, and you're going to get more pleasure out of owning it. So I don't often have a chance to really do like a head-to-head comparison of geisha ware pieces, but because I have the opportunity to do this one, I just wanted to show you a mediocre, relatively low-end geisha ware piece against a very well-executed high-end geisha ware piece. Nice to know. And after that, I took a turn around the corner and saw some other pieces. I get questions about this a lot, so let's take a look at these.
This piece is a child's or toy dresser. It has a mirror, nice piece. Looks like it's made of, well, I'm inclined to say inexpensive wood, like plywood. And it's $75. We have a piece behind it, and this one is $50. Again, child's dresser or toy dresser. Pieces like this are customarily quite overpriced in antique shops. They generally can be had for a fraction of the price, $10, $15. Go on eBay, take a look. And they are not the sort of things that sell, certainly not in this price range. So this is one of those caveat emptor moments. When you see a piece like this, it may be very tempting to say, oh, I would like to have it. But again, be very mindful of the prices you pay.
Those are beautiful, fun little pieces. If you can get them cheap, grab them. I have a little doll toy dresser thing in an art moderne style. It's just, I'm not going to do it right now because I'd have to dig out too much to do it at the moment, but I will, I promise, share a picture of this with you sometime. It's an art moderne piece. It's maybe 12, 14 inches high, a doll dresser or a child's dresser. It's worth it if you can get them cheap. But with price tags of $50, $75, no way. If you want them, go on eBay and get them. You will find much better prices than that, like really, because those prices are out of line. They really are. The market won't bear it. Most of these pieces were made by, grandpas for their grandkids, that sort of thing. Back in the old days when men just did woodworking, not that women didn't, but this was a grandfather to grandchild sort of gift. So that's where many of them come from. Occasionally, you will find some that are super valuable. There was one in the White House collection. That was, I guess, a childhood toy of one of the presidents. Other than that, no. The price range these should be in are the price ranges of children's toys. not $50 to $75. So because I've gotten questions on that, I thought I'd take a minute to just throw that out there. Well, once I got past that, and once I got past Janine's booth, which if you watch the Christmas video, you know, boy, that took a while because she sure put the goodies out this time. I went upstairs and I was actually on a specific hunt. But as I was looking, Paul waylaid me with another chocolate pot. So let's take a look.
Well, we are back into another one of Paul's cubbies for another $12 chocolate pot. I do not believe this was here the last time I was here. It's a very pretty German piece. And last time we picked up the beautiful Nippon piece and the Geisha ware piece. So we've got a lot of different styles available now. This is quite a pretty piece. Here's the front. Let's turn this around. Here's the back. Nice heavy gilding, almost no wear to the gilding, which is very important on pieces like this, and no chips or cracks or anything else I can see. $12 is a very good price for this.
I'm certain that chocolate pot was not there last week because that was right next to the cabinet in which I found the other two chocolate pots that I did buy. All three of them were $12. All three of them are fine pieces. I have a feeling that Paul sort of got into the estate of a chocolate pot collector, just as he apparently came into a collection of occupied Japan as well. So, no question, of course, that was coming home with me. Chocolate pots are great things, and people do like them if they're good quality. But the piece that I was actually looking for was that flamingo teapot. Well, that's what I called it. I said it was a teapot. Turns out it's not. That I had passed up the week before. I got so many comments on it that I had to go back for it. Well, one of our viewers had said, no, that's actually a coffee pot, and apparently they know all about it. I'm going to have to go back and recheck that comment because it was chock full of information. Yes, I did, in fact, find that piece again, and yes, it came home with me. So here, let's take a look, because there were some other things I got along with it.
So the last time I was in here, sneaking through Paul's little cubbies, I came across this piece, and I said it was a teapot. Well, it turns out that one of our viewers knows exactly what it was. It is a coffee pot that had an insert that goes inside, and we have a tiny chip. No, actually, that's not a chip. I just ran my finger across it. That's a manufacturer's flaw. The inside looks very nice. I was drawn to it because it's so very mid-century Miami looking. But apparently this is quite a valuable little piece. So for $9, yes. And if you'll recall, I said the reason I wasn't buying it was because I was up to my eyeballs in teapots. Well, gee, it's not a teapot, so I get to take it home. While I was snaking through the cubby, and I will show you that cubby, I found this. It's a little porcelain hand-painted handle on a spreader, $1. Very cute piece. And this, which is a lovely Nippon berry bowl. Notice the holes in the bottom. This is like a little Nippon colander. You would throw your berries in, rinse them off, and the water just drips out the bottom. And this is $5. So yes, Paul has not let me down. Now let's very quickly take a look at that cubby. All right, let's start there. This is, I had to sneak in through there, and everything was on this back shelf over here. Quite an adventure, especially for someone my age.
It definitely helped to know that it wasn't actually a teapot and I wasn't really loading myself up with teapots, which I kind of am right now. But I really, really liked it. That is nice. It's just, So turns out it's a coffee pot. Turns out it was supposed to have an insert. It's a whole big thing. Like I say, I'm going to have to go back and carefully check out that viewer's comments because it was very, very informative. But in order to get back there, I had to not just climb. I had to rearrange that little booth just to get through and get in, and it was on the back shelf and so on. But I did get that. The berry dish with the little holes in the bottom, a sort of porcelain colander, so to speak. Nippon, very nice. I certainly wouldn't be passing that one up anytime soon. So it was actually worthwhile to go crawling in back there. And then when I finished up with that, I went over to another booth. And this is a booth that I go into a lot, total mixed bag. So let's take a look.
Well, here we have a couple of $1 pieces, a teacup and a Dutch boy. They are both marked Japan. They are both damage-free and very, very pretty. I am definitely seeing Tidbit trays on the other end of this purchase. They are coming home with me. Now, let me take a moment to give you a little overview of this booth. Very small, very much a mixed bag. There are a lot of extremely pretty things in here. There are also a lot of things that are not my idea of well priced, and some that are damaged as well. Here, not my idea of great prices. Let me show you this. $25 Geisha ware saucers, some of which are chipped. At 5 of them, that is $5 a piece for these Geisha ware saucers. Not a great price. $15 for a very tiny creamer. Let's see if that's Nippon. Well, I just checked. It is not Nippon. Oh, and I'm sorry, I called that a creamer. It's actually either a sugar bowl or a jam pot. At $15, that's a bit overpriced. So I start looking at these things and I'm not impressed. I look at the others and they're very nice. These sandwich glass pieces, if that is $5 for the set of 7, it's an exceptionally good price. So places like this, walk past the items that are damaged or not good prices, and then scoot over here to the pieces that are. This, trying to figure out if that is actually pink on the top. If it is, we're looking at watermelon glass, which is very pricey. So, excuse me a moment, I'm going to take a look at these prices. The price is $15 for the 3 pink ones with some chips, and I always appreciate when sellers make a note of that. And then we have the 2 other pieces that are not marked, and I think I may make an inquiry about them.
Well, the little Japanese teacup and the little Dutch boy, $1 a piece. Of course, they were coming home with me. Now, these, well, this, his little friend is sitting right here, is one of the goblets that I picked up. And at first I thought gee, the reason I'm seeing a pinkish tinge at the top of the glassware is because they're dusty and the dust is sort of reflecting the light strangely, whatever. Um, I'm not, it's clear, by the way, it's absolutely clear. Here, white card, see. But I'm definitely seeing a little reflection of the light, which is probably from the fact that if you look at this, it looks to have a diamond pattern on it. It doesn't. It has swirls going one way. Maybe you can see that if I hold it like this. But when you look through it, it creates a diamond pattern. And that seems to be where the odd color is coming from. I had these brought downstairs for me because one of the great things Bedford does is they send their staff upstairs to the second floor all the time. And if you've got a bag full of stuff, they very kindly say, would you like me to take this downstairs for you? And I say, oh, my hero, and give them my stuff. I sent these down and said that I wanted them to do a price check for me because it was 2 little glasses. Here's the other one. They were not marked. Their friends were the pink ones, but they were chipped. And those 2 weren't. So I wasn't really expecting a great deal because, like I say, that booth, it's anybody's guess. They sell great things for pennies, and then they want $5 a piece for broken Geisha ware plates. Go figure. Apparently there was a miscommunication. They packed them up, charged me for them. I paid for them, got them home, looked at my receipt, and found out, oh, gee, I wasn't all that sorry we had the miscommunication because it was $3 for the 2 of them. So, yeah, that's nice. Now, as it happens, I have been looking at glassware on eBay, Etsy, some of the other online sales places, and certainly looking around in antique shops. So let me just quickly, because this is not our glass video. I've promised you a glassware video. This is not it. This is a watermelon glass goblet. Now, the design on the glass here is a swag, just a plain, simple little swag. I think if I hold it like this, you might be able to see it a little more clearly. It's called watermelon glass because the top is pink, the bottom is green. As you know, my china is rose medallion, pink and green, right? So yeah, you got to know that sort of thing appealed to me. This is one of the most valuable kinds of depression glass, one of the most expensive. So if you want to get into watermelon glass, you have to be a real deal shopper. And I am a real deal shopper. And I made sure I got a fantastic price on these, or I wouldn't have purchased them, because pieces like this go for probably on average between $20 to $30 per glass, which in my opinion is obscene given how much you can get things like pressed glass or sandwich glass or some other equally beautiful, equally old glassware for. But got a good deal. And I have been looking to get some additional glassware because I would like at least one more set of goblets in addition to these and the other ones that I have. I don't know why. You know, it's this fantasy I have that the Queen's coming to dinner sometime soon, I think. It's like, oh my gosh, I heard she drinks a lot. Like, seriously, I have heard that woman can pack away the liquor. So, you know, you're going to have a lot of goblets if you have her to tea. So, got to do that. But I'm actually thinking of keeping these. And it's not what I had in mind, not what I was looking for. These are more along the lines of champagne or sherbets. Um, Nevertheless, I've already got a good start. I have 2 of them. They only cost me $3, which means that if I can find a few more that match or complement, I'm in business. So that's what I'm thinking about. But anyway, I have promised you a glassware video. I will probably not be able to do that until I have better access to the schoolhouse because, as you heard when I was dealing with the china, doing a video out there when workmen are banging, and there was a lot of creative editing to keep the swearing out of the video. You know, mind you, they're nice, respectable people, but they're working, and, you know, their language is their language when they work. But I did want to show you that. Also, I wanted to show you the watermelon glass because I believe I mentioned that and didn't have anything out at the time to show you. Oh, one more thing. Notice the green is at the bottom at the base. Occasionally, very occasionally, you will see this reversed. The upper portion will be green, the lower portion will be pink. That is extremely unusual. Ordinarily, I won't buy it. Something like this, again, we have the green at the bottom, clear at the top. I'm okay with this. So why not? Why won't I buy it if the green is up here? It's because of the potential for radioactive content, quite frankly. I have not examined these with a black light. I do not believe this is uranium glass. I will check it out, always. Before you lay anything out in front of your guests, minimally, you need to know whether or not you're irradiating people when you invite them to dinner. It's like, yes, come to dinner and let me expose you to 80 gazillion kilorads. No, I don't think so. So, of course, I will check. But my way of avoiding that is whenever I get into anything that even has the slightest potential to have a uranium content, I make sure it's not in the portion that's going to come in contact with the food or the beverage. I know people have no problem using uranium glass for drinking purposes, eating purposes. They're fine with that. That's why I'd probably be fine with it too if I went to somebody's house and their china was glowing in the dark. I don't think I would say, oh, ick, I'm not eating here. On the other hand, you know, my reproductive years are long gone. I don't have to worry about 3-headed babies. So at my age, I can run a risk. You know, it's like, boy, if it isn't this, something else is going to get me sooner or later anyway. What's the big deal? But I had mentioned this briefly last time. Uranium glass is very pretty, but it's potentially very dangerous. And that's something I prefer to leave in the hands of collectors of uranium glass who I hope can be trusted to handle it responsibly. This I've already checked. This is not uranium glass. I just haven't checked the others yet. But if you have a concern, that's how to avoid the problem. Make sure the green is down here on the base somewhere and not up here in the bowl of the glass. That's all. Simple enough, because no one is going to drop dead from holding a glass for 20 minutes. That's all it takes. All right, so we're going to close it off here today. Hopefully I'll be able to finish up this trip in the next video. I'm not sure. Actually, I bought so much stuff. I'm not sure how many videos it's going to take to go through it all. But I did want to let you know, yes, I have the flamingo pot. All right. I will see you all tomorrow. Have a great day.